Today we're going to be looking at how funding works at Alpha Capital, the best-selling prop firm on Prop Firm Match for 2 consecutive years. We'll break down the challenge process, account types, payout structures, and everything you'll need to know before getting started. So if you're thinking about getting funded, you won't want to miss this. Now, before we dive into today's video, we're going to be doing a giveaway, so make sure to stay tuned to the end to hear exactly how to enter. All right, let's get started. So we're going to be taking a look at the challenge overview. Alpha Capital has 4 program types. They're Alpha Pro, the Alpha Swing, Alpha 1, and the Alpha 3. The Alpha 1 and 3 are exclusive to 1-step and 3-step challenges. The Alpha Pro is their most popular challenge and gives the highest leverage. For the Alpha Pro challenge, there are 3 options: the Alpha Pro 6%, the Alpha Pro 8%, and the Alpha Pro 10%. So let's take a look at how they actually compare to each other. So the Alpha Pro 6% is the cheapest out of the 3, costing $298.90. It offers the lowest total profit target with 6% in both phase 1 and in phase 2. The drawdown is the tightest though, with the daily loss of just 3% and a static maximum loss of 6%. This challenge would be best for more experienced traders who can manage the tighter conditions. Next, we have the Alpha 8%, which is the most expensive option, costing $403.90, over $100 more than the Pro 6 with code match. It has a slightly higher total profit target of 13%, with 8% in phase 1 and 5% in phase 2. However, the 8% Pro has a larger drawdown with a daily loss of 4% and a static maximum loss percentage. Finally, we have the 10% Pro, which is cheaper than the 8% but more expensive than the 6%. The total profit target is 15%, with 10% in phase 1 and then 5% in phase 2. Also, it has a higher drawdown with 10% of a static max loss and a 5% daily loss limit. This challenge will be recommended with traders with less experience due to the more forgiving drawdown. The 2-step swing account, which has the exact same profit target, drawdown, but has different rules. For example, the news trading rule, which will cover the rule differences later in the video. All the 2-step accounts have an 80% profit target, and the Alpha 1 account is also popular. You can see that this is their 1-step account. You only have to make 10% profit on the account. The daily loss is 4%, with the max loss being 6%, and you get that 80% profit split. And payouts are on demand after having at least 2% of the gross profits in the account balance. One key difference with the Alpha 1 is that, unlike the 2-step challenges, the max drawdown is in fact a trailing drawdown. Now, one key difference between the Alpha 1 and their 2-step challenges is their max drawdown is in fact a trailing drawdown on this account. So that's one thing to keep in mind. Now we're going to dive into some of the key rules that you're going to need to know when trading this account. Now, they have a consistency rule. It says the on-demand payout option includes a 40% consistency rule requirement and a minimum of 2% gross profit. They do have a rule against all or nothing practices. It says they are strictly prohibited. For their average trade duration, traders must ensure that the average duration of all of their trades exceeds 2 minutes. At least 50% of the requested profit must come from trades that exceed 2 minutes. Order blocking and spamming, it says entering multiple orders in a short period of time is prohibited. And then news trading and qualified analyst accounts. So it is allowed only for the swing accounts. If a trade is initiated within 2 minutes before or up to 2 minutes after a news release, a 4-minute window, its a duration must exceed 2 minutes for the trade to be valid. For an Alpha Pro 8% or 10% accounts, trading around high impact news is restricted 2 minutes before and after the release. For the Alpha 1 and the Alpha Pro 6% and the Alpha 3 accounts, trading around high impact news is restricted 5 minutes before and 5 minutes after the release. News trading is allowed in the evaluation programs without any restrictions though. Now, for their drawdown adjustment rule on the Alpha 1 accounts, it says if you have a 6% trailing max drawdown, your account resets to the initial balance after reaching a 6% profit. Maintain a profit buffer to keep trading. Withdrawing all profits will result in an account closure. For their risk management, it says consistently losing or risking 2% or more in a single trade or sequence of trades closed around the same time period is prohibited. And quick note here, if you want to check out the max lot sizes available for each different account, you can check that out here on Prop Firm Match under their firm rules. Now, for their payout policy, it says you can select either bi-weekly payout or 2% on demand at checkout for the Alpha Pro 8% and 10%, the Alpha Pro 6%, and the Alpha 3 plans. For the Alpha Swing and the Alpha 1 plan, only the 2% on demand option is available. For the bi-weekly payout value, it says for your first performance fee request, a minimum of 5 trading days using the same trading strategy is required. Payouts are every 14 days. The minimum withdrawal is $100 in gross profit. For the 2% on demand value, it says traders can request a payout payout anytime provided they achieve at least 40% best day rule, have at least 2% of the gross profits in the account balance. And for the 40% best day rule, that just means that no single trading day can contribute to more than 40% of the total profits. So this is how traders are actually rating Alpha Capital. They got a 4.4 for their trading conditions, they got a 4.4 for their customer care, a 4.4 for their user friendliness, and a 4.2 for their payout process, giving them an overall 4.3 overall rating. So let's see what traders actually have to say about it. So one trader rated Alpha Capital as a 5.0. It says, so far not a single issue with Alpha Capital, been funded for 2 years now, everything settled within 48 hours for me always doing these 2 years. I recommend, especially for new traders, their 10k swing evaluation for only 40 USD when funded gives you the ability to execute on orders even when news release. I find this very useful and not available with other firms. Good luck to all and stay safe. They rated them a 4.0 for their user friendliness, a 5.0 for their payout process, a 5.0 for their customer care, and their 5.0 for their trading conditions. Another trader rated Alpha Capital as a 5.0 too. It says Alpha Capital's 10k two-step challenge is well structured and suitable for traders who focus on discipline, risk management. The profit targets and drawdown rules are clearly defined, which makes it easy to plan trades without confusion. The two-step evaluation process helps filter out consistent traders rather than encourage overtrading. Trading conditions are solid with reasonable spreads on major Forex pairs and smooth execution during normal market hours. It says the dashboard is clean and easy to understand, allowing traders to monitor daily loss limits, overall drawdown, and progress towards the profit target without any issues. Another positive aspect is that Alpha Capital's emphasis on consistency and rule compliance. The rules are transparent and there are no hidden conditions if traders take their time and read them carefully. Customer support is responsive and helpful when questions arise regarding challenge rules or account status. Overall, Alpha Capital's 10k two-step challenge is a good option for traders who prefer a structured evaluation process and are comfortable trading with proper risk management and patience. Their top firm aspect and what they liked most about Alpha Capital is that they had clear and transparent rules of the two-step challenge. The drawdown limits and the profit targets are well defined as well. It says that one thing that they least like is that the rules can feel slightly strict for aggressive trading styles, especially regarding drawdown and consistency. Newer traders may need some time to fully understand all conditions before trading comfortably. However, once you are clear on the rules, the evaluation process becomes manageable with proper risk and control. They rated them as a 5.0 for user friendliness, a 5.0 for payout process, a 5.0 for customer care, and a 5.0 for trading conditions. So finally, it's time for the instructions for the giveaway in this video. And listen up, because I'm only going to say this once. Here's exactly what you need to do to enter today's giveaway. First, like and subscribe to the channel. And second, comment something that you learned from this video about how funding works at Alpha Capital. Best of luck to everybody. And that pretty much wraps up today's video on Alpha Capital and how their funding works. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content just like this. And remember, if you want to enter the giveaway for the free challenge account, make sure you follow the instructions that we gave earlier. And for now, we'd like to thank you so much for watching. And as always, thank you for choosing Prop for a Match.